Hi, everybody. Welcome to the George Mossey Show. Hope you guys had a chance to watch Before the 90 Days. We're on episode 8 of the season. Matt's here. What's up, Matt? Scotty's here. Dory, hi. Leanne is here. I see Kara. I don't know where DeeDee's at. Kara's here, though. Chris Pitts, what's up? Hey, you DM'd me earlier. I got to answer. It's been a while. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm driving the struggle bus today. I'm not just riding on it. I'm driving it.
Oh, yeah? I mean, I've had a crazy day, too. It's been, I don't know what it is lately. Like last Monday, I think was like my today.
Yeah.
It's been rough, but I'm here. Gonna make the best of it. I'm drinking tea. I'm not gonna get drunk on this one. I think I need all of my senses today because everything's not going right. So
yeah, I'm drinking coffee, but I should be drinking whiskey.
Right? No, Pineapple, you're not early. Donna's here. Hey, Tracy. Hey, little sis.
Where's Miss?
Hi, everybody. I don't know where DeeDee is. She told me that she was ready and waiting on me. I saw her on Twitter because she tweeted me a couple minutes ago. So I think DeeDee is still on Twitter. She's not here, but she's late to the party. So this episode, we did not get Cleo and Christian. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But I think we got everybody else. Am I right? I think we did.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, good. Because we got Amanda and Razvan. This episode, we didn't get them last week. So there's a lot I want to cover. I'm trying to wait on DeeDee, but I don't know where she's at because I want to get into this. So if anybody sees DeeDee, send her a message and tell her to get over here. We're waiting on her.
I just text her.
Perfect. Because I told her what time, but then I don't know. Maybe she's having a day like me.
She's having a day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't talked to her.
Well, she's on time, but I'm running late, and she was kind of running a little behind, but she's more on time than I am.
Yes,
but I have.
There you are.
So much.
There you are, DeeDee. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm always on time. You know, you can call my employer and they will tell you much differently. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I'm always on time. That is not true. But I try to be here around the time that we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
DeeDee, join so we can get started.
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, there's so much. I've got a fire under my ass today.
I know, right? I want to get started. There's like a lot that I want to cover, so I'm just like, I don't want to forget anything. I want to just jump in. Like, I can't swim, but I'm like diving in. Hey!
Yo, I am like struggling today.
Oh,
I was driving the struggle bus, so welcome aboard.
Y'all, I look a hot mess. Y'all just overlooked me today. I look a hot mess. I am like, it's taking all I can to stay awake. I was at the hospital all night with one of my guys. Got really, really sick. We were supposed to be there for like long enough for them to give him some IV fluids, and we sat there all night. So I'm running off pure adrenaline today.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right. So this episode, we're on episode number 8 of the season. And I think I want to start with Razvan and Amanda because they were trending on Twitter tonight for different reasons. Like Razvan said that her being on her period didn't scare him. I know a lot of guys are like, that doesn't scare me. You know, I think that he's trying to have the relationship with Amanda that she led him to believe they would have before she got there. And I think that he's really confused at how she's kind of rejecting him. She's kind of doing the Gino to Jasmine rejection to him. Like anytime he puts forth any effort, she shuts him down and she's like, well, I'm not ready, and I don't want you to come to the U.S., as though she's like the head of immigration now. She's telling people who can come to the U.S., who can't, and when it's a good time for her, because she was like, oh, she told her sister, He said he was gonna come visit a week after I get back. I don't want that. And I'm like, well, last time I checked, you're not the head of immigration. If he applied for a visa before he met you and that visa gets approved, he can come to the US. You don't get to tell him when he can and can't go.
Yeah.
I think that she's looking for every possible way to end the relationship. When she gets on the plane to go back home to Louisiana, I believe she doesn't want to have any contact with them. That's just how I feel. Like, I feel like she's trying to make the best of it and lead him on. And then once she gets back to Louisiana, she's going to ghost him. Right? Do you feel like that?
I don't know how I feel. I'm so pissed off. She said in the beginning, blah, blah, Jason, blah, blah, Jason, 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 I feel guilty, Jason, Jason, Jason. And then at the end, she said, talking to her friend, I think I'm getting over the guilt. Like, what are you doing? Shut the hell up. She needs to go home. Go home. I'm so pissed at her. I've been pissed at her from the beginning. But
she shouldn't be there.
No.
I agree. Like, she shouldn't be there. She's not ready. And she's like, oh, well, my kids aren't ready. You're right. No one is ready for this situation. Her kids, everybody included. She's right. But for some reason, she's there. And she's doing this. And she's stringing this guy along. And she's trying to blame it on him. She's just like, oh, well, you don't listen to me. And you don't understand what I'm going through. But he does. If you weren't ready, you shouldn't have got on the plane and made that commitment. You're telling him, I love you, on video call after 4 months. He's under the impression that the relationship is actually progressing in that direction. So when she gets there and she's like, okay, so somebody said to me on Twitter, they were like, isn't it kind of rude that she told him she wouldn't wear the bathing suit? But I want to chime in because buying gifts for women is almost like 100% always a miss. I've learned that even if you know a woman, you've been with her a long time, you're related to her, she's related, you go to work together, whatever, buying her a gift, I always tell people, put the receipt, a gift receipt, whatever, in the package, because you are not going to get this right. And then when it comes to clothing, shoes or purses or jewelry, just take her with you to the store.
Yeah.
So I do want to say, because everybody's like, oh, she's being a massive B, she should just be happy. No, I don't know very many women that will go to a beach or a pool in a bikini that they don't feel comfortable in. Like, yeah. I feel like women get a rep of being like, oh, well, you should just be happy, that he was thinking of you. Yeah, but going to the beach or going to the pool, that's something you don't feel comfortable with. Like, I've been with women shopping for swimsuits. This is a situational ordeal, okay? It's going to take quite a bit of time. She's going to try on a lot of different things before she finds what she's comfortable with on her body out in public. For guys, it's not the same. A guy will just find the first pair of shorts, for swimming shorts in the store that are a decent color that he kind of likes and he's good. For women, it's different. So I don't think that she was being a B in that situation. I'm not saying that she's not being a B all the other times. I'm saying that in that situation, I kind of agree with that. Okay. Like, don't buy a bathing suit for a woman.
They walked into the shop to return the swimming suit so that she could turn around and buy almost the exact same swimming suit, exact same color with a strap. Like, I'm out of patience for her. I am completely out of patience.
See, I don't want to blame her though, because I have been with women when they were shopping for bathing suits. It has to be the right one. It has to be the perfect one. Just like with rings. I've seen guys buy engagement rings and they had to go and exchange it because it just wasn't the right one. So I don't want to, hey, Marshana, I don't want to like jump on her for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to jump on her for other stuff. But like that particular.
I'm not blaming her for that. I'm blaming her for everything else. The swimsuit just pissed me off because I was already pissed off.
Well, y'all already know I don't like her, so I'm trying to think over here like how I can be nice about it. So I don't like her, and like that she complains about everything. Everything. Yeah. She complains about everything. I have yet to hear one positive statement to come out her mouth to Razvan.
Yep.
It's always negative. She's always complaining. She's always trying to play the victim.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of listening to it.
Yep.
I mean, even if she didn't like the bathing suit, at least he tried.
Yeah.
What has she done to try to make him happy?
Nothing.
And that's her freaking karma that's biting her in her freaking butt because she was talking to Razvan when her husband was dying. We all know it. It's all over social media. Everybody's seen the proof. And then he's still freaking still hot from being cremated, and she's on a plane going to see him. Going to see Razvan. So
yeah, I agree completely. Also, who else almost falls asleep when they're interviewing her? She just talks so slow about everything.
I don't like her. I don't like her. I was hoping that they didn't even show them anymore. Like, I don't like her. I really don't.
I think we've met a consensus on Amanda. I mean, I think we made a consensus on. I think that we all have a issue with. I mean, for me, it's mostly, I don't care that she's like kind of a unpleasable woman. You know, there are women like that. They're never gonna be happy. But I think the way that she's treating Razvan when he's really trying, I think is really sad, because there's a lot of guys who don't show any effort. They don't put forth any effort. They don't buy anything nice. They don't do anything nice. They just show up. So the fact that he is putting in that effort and she's kind of just crapping all over him, I just hate that, because women always say like there's no good guys left, and it's like I'm watching this good guy get like crapped all over, and it kind of sucks, because the next time he's dating, he's gonna try to be a little less good, because nice guys seem to finish last, and it's becoming a really popular trend. So the good guys all started out good, and then they get treated like Amanda's treating Razvan, and then they're a little less good in every relationship, and they just turn into bad guys.
Yeah. I don't know. But she contradicts herself constantly, just like she was so guilty, had so much guilt about blah, blah, blah. And then she was getting over it. But then she literally said when they had first talked, she says, I don't know if I want any more kids. And then at the end, she's like, I told him I definitely don't want any more kids. So I feel like that was wishy-washy too.
So, okay, she has 2 kids already. She's a little bit older than him, but he's only 26. And I think it's pretty normal for a guy at 26 who's ready to settle down to want to have some kids. He said 3 or 4, though. You know, that's a large amount of children. That's like, because she already has 2, so we will be talking like 4 to 6 kids. That's like, I'm pretty sure, a football team, right? Like, that's a lot. So I get that she's like, maybe when they were talking, she said maybe 1. She might have possibly said 2, but was lying, you know? But I think that the fact that she doesn't want to have kids isn't, since she already has 2, I'm not going to hold it against her. Like, I'm not going to hold it against her, because I know that it's a huge responsibility. And with him being all the way in Romania and her being all the way in Louisiana, like, for instance, if she was to get pregnant on this trip, taking care of that child, the pregnancy and everything is completely on her until they will be able to get over there. Because that's kind of what happened with Jessica and Juan. Like, he's fully committed. He's fully a part of the pregnancy and the life, but he can't physically be there. And I think that would be a lot for her. I feel like she doesn't handle grief well, if she even does at all. So I feel like adding another person to her family is just something that she wouldn't be able to handle at all. Like, I feel like she has so much in her house and in her life that she needs to handle already. I think children shouldn't be added. Like, no more children need to be added to that situation. So I feel like Razvan should probably find somebody who's more open and willing to compromise, because the whole time Amanda's been in Romania, she hasn't compromised on anything at all. Like, literally nothing. Whatever she says goes. Whatever she wants goes. Whatever he wants, she could care less. Yeah. And I feel like that's not a relationship. It's never going to build into a relationship. And I get some guys like a feisty, controlling woman. You know, like, and I'm not going to lie. Being controlled or being told no or told what to do, it can be hot sometimes. Not all the time, though. Like, I kind of want to feel like I want to have a voice. Like, every now and then, I would like to be told yes. You know, like, I would like for her to say, well, I don't really like that, but I'll try it because you want to try it. Yeah. You know, that would be nice in a relationship. I feel like a relationship with Amanda is always like, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I don't care about that. I don't want to do that. I don't want kids. It's always going to be what she wants. And then you're dealing with the aftermath of her just being mean. I think he said it, right? He said, you're excessively mean to me. I think he said that a couple weeks ago. And it's true. It's almost like she goes out of her way to be cold to him. And it kind of bothers me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it bothers me because he doesn't deserve that. And I feel like, wait, Pinky, know what? What did I do? I know. Oh, never mind. I know what you mean. But I just feel like it's definitely it's taking a toll on him. And I feel like when she gets on that plane and she goes back to Louisiana, she's gonna try to ghost him. I feel like that's exactly what's gonna happen.
And
Well, if he's smart, he'll get her.
and then something else that I was like, wait a minute, what? She got mad because he was telling the lady in the store about her. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you be mad? Why would that bother you? That would, I mean, here Misha's trying to get Nicola to tell people about her, and he refuses to do it.
Yep.
She's practically begging him, but here it is. Radvan is telling everybody about Amanda, and she is just like, she's mad. She don't want him to tell nobody nothing about her. Like, seriously?
Yep.
I think this was more of her little secret.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's stupid because there's cameras following her, so we all know.
You go on national TV. How the heck is it supposed to be a secret?
She's like, well, why would you tell her? I was like, well, a lot of women will look at it as you're in a lingerie store buying a bikini. It's better that he wasn't flirting with the sales girl. He's telling the sales girl about you and your life plans. Like, I feel like that's a win because some guys are out there and they flirt with literally every female they encounter. So it's like, he's not flirting with her. He's telling her how much he loves you. This is a win. Like, you got to take a win when you get one. There's some pretty crappy guys out there, and I feel like she doesn't appreciate what he does because a lot of, you know, we've watched this show a lot.
Yeah.
Once that person is out of the sight of their spouse or their fiance, they can't be trusted.
Yep.
They can't talk to him. Look at Jasmine this season, right? Like, once Gino is back in Michigan, who knows who she's talking to or what she's doing. So I feel like Amanda just doesn't appreciate a good guy.
Yeah. I don't feel like Amanda appreciates anything.
She
and I'm over her.
No, they just need to send her home. I don't even want to see her on TLC anymore.
Yep, me too.
I mean, if I could be allowed to go to the tell all, I would be there. Okay,
Me
I'd be like,
too.
I want to grill this woman. Like, I really want to grill her.
Well,
I don't know who I dislike the most, her or Jasmine. At this point, I don't know.
That's a close one. But I really dislike her a lot.
Yeah.
Just a side note, if you follow the 90 Day Fiancé Twitter handle, they filmed a tell-all this weekend. Not this tell-all, I believe. Well, no, it was this tell-all before the 90 days. If you would have submitted your questions, they had a little Google form. They were going to ask some of the questions and use your name and stuff on the show. I don't know if you guys did.
I don't think any of my questions would have cleared the FDA.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
Not
they have to be worded in a way that you can say it on TV.
Yeah.
So we're gonna rule Kara.
TLC ain't ready for me and Kara if we were to walk up in there. They ain't ready.
No.
They ain't ready.
No. Shut it down.
So
Yeah, that's what I cut.
So I want to talk about Riley and Violet. So Violet had this FaceTime conversation with Tiffany. Okay, so Tiffany was asking her why she didn't delete the dating app. She didn't want to answer the question, but she eventually said that she forgot the password, so she couldn't delete her account. So again, I know that doesn't mean anything because you can see when the account was active or not. We would need a little more information on that because she's saying she wasn't using it, but again, how do we know that? We don't know that. And if you forgot your account password, there's like a little button underneath your password box that says forgot password for this specific reason, and they're going to let you reset your password. I think it's very convenient excuse. She didn't like being interrogated. You know, she didn't like the idea that someone was questioning her and her intentions because she was like, you should have protected me. You shouldn't have let her, you know, ask me these questions. Now, I'm going to say this, probably unpopular, but I feel like if Riley wanted to know the answer to these questions, it's his job to ask. It's not Tiffany's job. It's not anybody else's job. I feel like if you want to marry somebody, you should be able to ask them a question. And the fact that he was afraid to ask her a question shows me they're not ready to even begin a relationship. Because in order for this marriage to work, in order for this relationship to work, Riley has to be able to ask tough questions and have tough conversations. And at this stage, he's so terrified of asking Violet a question because he's like, oh, she's going to get mad. She's going to do that. Let her get mad. You need to know the answers to these questions to know if you can trust her. And the way that she gets so defensive shows me you can't trust her. When you ask someone a question, their reaction is more telling than the actual answer to the question. I've always believed that.
We've said that Violet was a liar from the, but I'm telling you, tonight was the other side of Riley that I knew was going to come out. I said it in the beginning. The way he was, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I am not defending Violet because I think she is so full of shit. It's not even funny. I am not defending her. But I also was dumbfounded by, first of all, him having Tiffany do his dirty work. Here, you ask the questions, because he literally said, thank you for that, because I can't ask her. But the way he was talking down to her, and she'd do anything, okay, bye, get out, bye. He was so condescending to her. He wasn't inviting a conversation in any way, shape, or form. She got defensive because of his body language and the way he was. She felt like it was 2 against 1. Again, not defending her, but it was 2 against 1. And the way he came after her when he had backup, not when they're alone, but when he had backup, then he attacked her.
You nailed it. You nailed it. He can never actually address her in the way that he did without backup. And that's the problem, because you can't always bring people from outside into your relationship. It's unhealthy. If they're not a therapist, they shouldn't be involved. That's a toxic situation, because your friends are always going to be one-sided. They're always going to be on your side. You need a therapist. You need a non-biased person if you're going to bring someone in. And you do not, like you said, it's never 2-on-1. It's never attacking one person. And again, nobody's right here. Like you said, nobody's right here. He's not right. He feels like he can talk to her however he wants because he's right. He's not right either. The way that he set up a video call to have somebody verbally attack her is not right. And I don't care that she's doing wrong. We clearly know that she is. But if you're in a relationship with her, it's your responsibility to have that conversation one-on-one. You don't bring other people in. You can never have friends solving your problems for you, because the problems are never going to go away. You have to be able to deal with them yourself. And I just feel like the way that he was like, oh, beat it, get out of my face, go. I'm sick of you. I'm tired of you. I feel like he let all of the lies that built up from the beginning, because he's been super doubtful from the beginning. It was like a build-up, and that was finally him exploding on her. And that's exactly what they teach you not to do in counseling. Don't bottle things up. So when you finally have that huge blow-up, you literally blow up on the person, and it's this huge explosion of emotion. That's what it was. He was just like, get out of my face. I'm sick of you. You're a liar. It kind of started out a week ago or 2 weeks ago when he was like, you're a liar. And he kind of started that aggressive name calling in the beginning, but it didn't go as far as it did this week.
Well, she had to hurry and get out of there so she could text his dad. So
that's actually true, though.
Well, you know he couldn't have a little soft side because Tiffany was on the phone. So he has to have that, that manly attitude. And I told you guys that I was my nail salon, the one that does my nails, they're from Vietnam. They're Vietnamese. Violet is lying. Everything she's been saying about the woman, how the woman's supposed to do that, they can't ask no questions because it's the man can't ask women questions because it's disrespectful and all this other stuff. That's a lie. In Vietnam, the women are submissive to the men.
Really?
Good to
Hands
know.
down.
Good to know.
So she's using his ignorance of their culture to make it work in her favor. She's like, oh, well, you can't do that because of my culture. And his ignorance of the culture, he doesn't know it's true or not because he didn't, Google anything. He just kind of hopped on a plane and went over there. And he's trying to figure out as he goes, which we've always talked about it, figure out what's going on, where you're going before you land, please. Does everybody a favor. It saves you money. Probably could save you time in a foreign prison. Just figure out what you're doing and make sure you're doing it right according to the land that you're in. Because America is really weird compared to other places. We see it as normal. We get away with so much over here that you cannot do other places. So I do feel like that. I feel like his ignorance of what she's saying and even what she's even doing on a daily basis. He has no idea. And I feel like that's kind of why he doesn't trust her and why he blew up. And he finally just let it get to that point. And he said in the episode that he blocked her for next week. And she said that she sent him a long text and blocked him. So we know that blocking people when they're in a relationship is never permanent, because it's just like a four button press process to unblock that person. So we're not closing the chapter on the Riley and Violet situation yet, because he's still in Vietnam next week. So you know how that goes. Just because they blocked each other, that is very temporary. How many times have we seen 90-Day cast members that were in relationships block each other? There was a point in time where Angela had blocked Michael. Okay, they're still together. So we're not going to let any of that information process how we're going to process this situation.
There was a point in time that I blocked Angela, but I still watch her.
I didn't know that.
No,
I did not know that you had her blocked.
I didn't. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't.
I like Angela. See, I have very unpopular opinions tonight. We're not going to get into that. We're not, because I don't want to get anybody mad. But I do want to bring up David and Sheila. And we met Amy, who was the translator, which I thought was, wait, am I saying that right? Or am I supposed to say interpreter?
I think it's
Either way.
Either way.
I mean,
Oh,
translator, interpreter. I mean,
So
Same thing.
Amy was the interpreter / translator. I don't know which one. And we found out that Sheila is jealous. And okay, so Amy said something that kind of made me scratch my head. She said that she learned sign in 1 month.
Yeah.
And David and Sheila have been dating for
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And she's been supposedly learning sign this whole time. What's taking so long? Because the girl was like, I learned it in about a month. And I don't want to like say it's easy, because I don't know how to ASL interpret. I don't know any words or letters. So I don't want to say, oh, well, she should have learned, because I don't know that. I don't know the difficulty. I don't know if this girl, Amy, is like some sort of prodigy or a genius. I don't know the situation. But it was interesting, because remember when Sheila found out that David's name had its own sign?
Yeah.
She didn't even know that until they physically were in the car together. So it's making me wonder, is she really trying to learn ASL, or is she just saying that?
I don't know. The thing that confuses me is it appears that her mom is very hard of hearing.
Yes. Very.
So I feel like she should know a little bit more than she does. Maybe that's just me, but I would find a way to communicate with my parent or anybody that was that hard of hearing. If I had to physically get on them and yell in their ear, I would try to find a different way to communicate.
Absolutely. The way that she yelled in her ear, I thought, that can't be good for the hearing she has left.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was like, I'm pretty sure you never yell in someone's ear to that point, whether they're hard of hearing or not.
Yeah.
You can yell from farther away, but yelling into someone's ear, that can't be good for the eardrum. Yeah. Oh, so let's talk about the house situation. So it was a very humbling experience to watch, because apparently it looked like they shower in like an alleyway.
Yeah.
It's not like enclosed in the house, which was, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just really humbling to see, because she doesn't complain, and she hasn't really been asking David for money to improve anything, which kind of gives me a little more respect and understanding for their relationship, because she could definitely be asking for more money. Because
and the way she made the comment, she made so many comments about, I hope it doesn't change how he feels when he sees how I live. So to me, that says that, you know, she was kind of saying it's not as bad as it is. So she definitely wasn't, I don't feel like she's in it for the money at all.
I mean, it was based on the amount he told us that he gave her. I don't think she is in it for the money. 2.5 years, and I think she said, what, that's like $2,500? Yeah, like she's not asking him for money, and I feel like he's probably offering it. Like, I feel like she's not asking, he offers it, and she just doesn't say no, but he has to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, it really made me realize that she's not using him for anything. Yeah. That was kind of one of my worries in the beginning when we were getting to know her, especially when the dad asked, like, oh, well, is he going to help, you know, pay for the repairs on the house? That was like the first thing that he brought up when he heard that David was going to be there, and it kind of worried me, but I don't believe that. And she has a cell phone. She could have taken pictures and videos and
Yeah.
shown David the accommodations or the way that her home was. She never did that. So I feel like if she was asking or looking for a handout, she had every opportunity. And, you know, in that situation, I definitely hope they're able to get that taken care of. Because then someone said on Twitter, they're like, in America, that would be considered condemned and they wouldn't allow people to live in it. And unfortunately, this is the reality, you know, of some people's lives. This is where they're living. And even though, you know, to the naked eye, you're like, oh, well, I don't understand. You know, there's no roof, there's no walls. When they walked in, I didn't see them walk through a door. You know, it was just an open space. Like it's almost unfathomable what the sense of normalcy is from country to country.
Yeah.
Because in America, there's no way we would see that as normal.
Yeah. But is there anybody else that was extremely disappointed in the way that her father reacted to meeting him?
Yes, I was very disappointed.
Yeah,
and her son too. I mean, he didn't even say thank you for the gift. Like, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, me too.
I think she felt they were nervous around him. I don't know how much interaction that they've had with a person who's hard of hearing. So
Right.
I don't know if it was nervousness or I don't know. They didn't really have much to say. And it's interesting because if he's going to marry her and they're going to move or whatever the situation is, you want to get to know the person. And there was an interpreter. This was the open opportunity to say what you wanted to say. And it seemed like they didn't really want to get to know David, and I don't know, it was very odd to me because we've been watching this show for many, many, many seasons, and the family are usually way overly involved, way too interested in getting to know the person and judging a person and finding something wrong with the person. So it was just a very strange way that they reacted. You know, he opened the present and he was like, actually, it's nice. Like, although I don't know, that answer kind of struck me as odd because I was like, so did you think it wasn't going to be a good present? Like, I don't know. It was really interesting. The whole situation, I couldn't really feel out. I was really confused by it.
With the translator being right there, that's the opportunity to say anything. But there was so much awkwardness about everything. Like, for example, she said to her dad, "Are you okay with him being deaf?" That's like, I would never introduce my significant other to my family and say, "Are you okay with him being short? Are you okay with him being tall? Are you okay with him being fat? Are you okay with him being skinny?" You just don't do that. "Are you okay with him being black? Are you okay with him being white?" You just don't do that. I would never ask my family if they're okay with it. Like, if I love this person, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
I don't care if they're it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like a translational issue, but yeah, you don't really, because if you're born with a disability, you don't really need approval of your disability from other people because you didn't ask for it. It's something that it's a part of you, and not accepting that would be not accepting you. So yeah, I don't know why she would answer that, and then why would you even give people the opportunity to say yes or no?
Yeah.
What do you care? You know, like if you don't appreciate a person for who they are and you're going to let a physical defect or a disability determine whether or not you're accepting or you like them. You know, I don't even want to know. I don't know if I want to be friends with people like that. I don't know. I don't want to be in interaction with people who think that, you know, if there's something wrong with the person, I don't want to accept them. I don't think that that's a way to have any idea of anyone, of who they are as a character or as a person or anything.
It's not, but also I want to address her jealousy over the translator.
Yeah.
Like that was a bit much, but also I kind of felt like he overstepped a little bit asking the translator if she was married or ever been married. I get that he was trying to make conversation, but that wasn't the time or place to make conversation. But for her to be so jealous that she went and literally bawled her eyes out for a minute, that was a lot. Like, that was a lot.
So for me, if she's jealous of people who can communicate with David through sign, then you need to learn sign, and then you would have to be the person who is the barrier of communication, meaning you would communicate with him. The only issue is she can't sign, and again, I don't know the process, how long it takes or whatever. I can't do it. So I don't want to say she should just learn it and get over it. I don't know the process, but if she wants to eliminate having other people do the communicating for her, especially women, because she said if it was a guy, it wouldn't have mattered to her, but since it's a woman, it bothered her. She's going to have to take that initiative to learn, because David is deaf and he's not going to regain his hearing. So this relationship, if it turns into a marriage, it's going to be her responsibility to be able to communicate with him. So she's got to take those steps. And it's this jealousy this season, and on the other show too, on The Other Way. It's like the jealousy is really consuming in these relationships. They can't really function. They can't go out and do things. They can't have normal interaction with other people without the jealousy. And I think that I'm a jealous person to an extent, but I've never like gotten to the point where I don't want someone to talk to a person of the opposite sex or be around the person of the opposite sex. That's impossible. This is a world that we live in where we are surrounded by all types of people, all types of genders, all types of orientation. You can't determine whether or not someone is going to interact at the grocery store, at the mall with someone of the opposite sex. People are hired of all genders, all races to be cashiers or whatever. You're going to interact with somebody. So I
don't care what kind of job you have or where you go, you're going to have some kind of interaction with somebody. So, I mean, but yeah, jealousy is I think her jealousy is coming through because she was a lot younger and she was a pretty young girl, you know. I don't know if he did that on purpose or if he just hired somebody. He didn't actually know, you know, what she looks like. We don't know. But Sheila really, you know, she really disappointed me whenever she started crying. Like, she's so jealous. Why? He's showing you that he loves you. He wants to be with you. You know, I mean, I get it. They've been together for 2.5 years. She don't even know but a couple of things in sign language. Well, it took me about 6 months to learn Spanish. It took me a year to become fluent in, you know, speak it, read it, and write it, and translate it. A year. But I was doing it every day. So if
that's true.
she wasn't doing it every day, then if she was putting it to the side, well, then you're not going to learn it. Or if that's all they were doing was using the translator where he could read everything, I mean, you gotta put your part into it as well. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That translator is a crutch. I feel
the
like
whole,
it's
the whole family thing just really disappointed me tonight. I was just like, I can't believe they're acting like that. You know, and
it was,
and I get where she's coming from too. She didn't want to ask. I mean, she wanted him to see where she's living. Maybe she's trying to prove to him, look, I don't want you for your money. I want to be with you because of you, because I really want to be with you. This is my home, but I'm trying to show you that I want to be with you. That's why I haven't asked you for nothing to fix my home. So, I mean, I'm trying to weigh out the, you know what I'm saying? The pros and the cons.
Like we're trying to balance it, or it could be, let me show him my home so he wants me to come to America. Like, we don't know. Like, we're trying to balance it out.
I don't know. Kind of dramatic to bring her and her kid over. I think she would have to come first. And I'm sure that she's having a hard time wanting to leave her son behind.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's not an immediate thing. So, like, if her visa's approved, she has to get over here and then apply to bring her child over. And we were talking about that on another episode of the podcast. That's insane to me. Asking a mom to leave her child in another country is literally insane. I mean, unless you're, but that's literally an insane thing to ask a person to do. I don't know any mother who would willingly or happily do that. That is more.
Maybe they do it because they have to make sure that they actually get married. Because if they don't get married, then they have to go back.
I mean,
but
understand why it's done. But me personally, I mean, my kids are grown now, but there ain't no way. I had a hard time leaving my kids with a babysitter, much less. No way.
Yeah, I get it. I had a hard time with my kids going to school, so I'm just like, I want my babies with me, with me. So that way I know they're safe.
So in the next episode, apparently somebody died in her family, and we've only met her mom and dad, right, and her son. So I don't know what's going on. I saw some talk on Twitter that it was her dad. I don't know that. I'm just gonna say right now, we have no idea unless somebody was like part of the production crew or whatever. I don't know what happened, but we've only met 2 people in her family, right, so far,
Yeah.
other than her son. So something happened. So we're gonna figure out how that's gonna go, and I think that's gonna be a big test of the relationship. You know, when you lose somebody that close, you have to find the person that you can lean on.
Yeah.
And not being able to communicate well is going to be hard because you need somebody who is there for you. And I feel like this is going to be a test for them. And David is going to have to, you know, figure out a way to comfort her in some way other than through communication, because they don't really have that, and probably don't hire the same interpreter.
Yeah.
Like, probably not do
Yeah.
that. Hire somebody else.
Yeah. Bring in an old man for that.
Yeah, an old guy who's married. So there's absolutely no issue. And then his wife is nowhere to be found. So Statler and Dempsey are super awkward together. I still like them together, but I feel like Statler is, okay, I don't want to get like dragged for this, but do y'all feel like Statler is like a frat boy? Like everything is sexual with Statler, right? Like Dempsey is like, this is kind of awkward. I don't want to talk about sex. And Statler just like, can I look at you? Can I, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, she gives me like super frat boy vibes, and she's like a horn dog. Yeah. Like, it's all about sex. And that makes me worried because she says that she's gotten around, right? She's been with a lot of girls. And I feel like that behavior is the opposite behavior of a positive, strong, progressive relationship. And maybe that's why she's had such a hard time keeping a steady girl in her life. I feel like she's ready to jump in the bed every single night as soon as she meets this person, and then she wonders why the relationship has no substance to it. And I feel like Dempsey is kind of freaked out by her level of strongness in the sexual aspect of the relationship. They literally just met, and all she's thinking about is, let me look at your ass, and let's do this, and can I jump in the shower with you? It's just like horn dog all the time. And I was watching it, and I was like, geez, that's like what it's like to be with a young guy. Yeah. I didn't realize what women are going through all the time. Can you imagine? Right? That was horrible.
It's terrible. Everything. Even walking into the house, she's like, I'm so turned on. Why? Because the blue? Like, come on. Everything is, it's just, she just does the weirdest shit.
I was like, I felt awkward. And I was sitting in my living room watching it, and I felt uncomfortable. Like, oh my gosh, who does that? I mean, how's your partner gonna be turned on if that's all you want to talk about is sex? You don't want to have a conversation about nothing else. You just want to talk about sex. That is a huge turnoff because it makes you feel like that's all you want me for is sex.
Exactly. She doesn't want to get to know her. She doesn't want to ask for any questions. She doesn't want to learn about her daily life, anything. It's just like, let's go to bed, let's get in the shower, let's do it. And it's like, get to know her a little bit better. And then the fact that they live so far, well, Dempsey lives so far in the country, and I'm trying to figure out if Statler is going to be okay with living in the country, because if I heard correctly, in order to go to the bathroom, they had to like walk through the woods to somewhere. I'm not walking through the woods at 3 a.m. to go pee. Like, no, that's how you get eaten by things. Yeah. And I don't care. She's like, oh no, we don't have any animals. If you live in the woods, you got animals. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says, right? If you live in the woods, you got animals. You might not know about the animals, but they live there. Trust me, the woods is filled with animals.
Oh yeah.
So there's no chance, because she doesn't have the plumbing in, and the house is very small. Was it like a tiny home?
Cute though.
But yeah, it was so cute though. It was like a little cozy place. It was like romantic. Yeah.
How is she gonna run from Statler, who's like chasing her around for sex, when there's nowhere to run? There's nowhere to go.
She doesn't even know Statler's moving in with her yet.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, that's true. That's true. She does not know that they're going to be sharing a place. You're right. So when is that conversation going to happen?
I don't know, but I'm here for it.
Oh, Studio says it sounds like she's hypersexual. A lot of times that is a result of some sort of trauma in the past. Interesting. So I would love to know if this is something that is actually triggered or brought on by some sort of trauma that she went through in the past. She hasn't shared it with us,
Yeah.
But that is true. A lot of times these conditions or the actions or the way that people behave sexually sometimes start from something that happened when they were younger in their past. So that's interesting. I
Yeah.
just think that she's got to take a chill pill and just learn to get to know women. And I trust me, women are very sexual people when you get to know them and they feel comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Women do not like to feel uncomfortable or pressured into it. And I feel like she's doing both with Dempsey.
Yeah.
Dempsey feels uncomfortable and she feels pressured. And no woman should feel that way with someone they just met.
Yeah.
Like, you should be, if you're going to be doing anything sexual, you both should be 100% comfortable. And if one person is comfortable and one person isn't, don't pressure them.
Well,
and I feel like that's exactly what's going on.
Dempsey also made the comment that she's into shit like whips and chains and is far more experienced. So I'm sure that Dempsey's already insecure going into it. And then, you know, after that, she's just wanting more and more and more. It's like, I don't know, but for me, I'd feel like, man, am I never good enough? So eventually, I think Dempsey's going to start feeling like that.
Yeah. Living up to her expectations are going to be hard. She kind of reminded me of Jasmine, because Jasmine is, I think, a hypersexual. Like, the way she describes herself, the way she's like a guy, like a horn dog. And it's like, it's hard in a relationship with a person who isn't a hypersexual. So it's like you're wanting it way more than your partner, and then you're pressuring them to do something that they might not be in the mood to do. And I feel like it's just an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should never be, you know, made feel or made, my words ain't wanting to come out, y'all. I'm so sleep deprived today. It's you should never be you should never feel like you have to do something that you don't want to do, no matter what it is.
Yep.
Yes.
And if they make you feel that uncomfortable, or if you feel like, you know, you're being forced to do it, you need to remove yourself from that situation.
Yeah.
No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Yep.
That's how
I agree.
I see it. Because if I'm with someone and they make me feel like I have to do something, no.
Yeah.
See ya. You can leave, or I can leave. Because that's not how a relationship works.
Yep.
So like Dempsey said, you know, she don't even know if they're going to be together for too long, because she may not be able to keep up with Statler.
Yeah.
Because Statler is just, she's like a freaking, what do you call a lion, like a tiger, wanting to jump on her every couple of seconds. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's scary, and there's nowhere to run in that little tiny house. Like, she can't hide from her. She have to run through the woods just to get a free moment to keep Statler from humping her leg. You know, like, give her a moment. You know, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Statler said she didn't want to go to the woods, so that's where she's going to run and just hide from her.
Gee, you just gotta run and hide in the trees somewhere to just get a moment of peace.
Yeah.
So, Nicola and I forgot her name just like that. Misha. Nicola and Misha are back, and I think, did we have them last week? I kind of feel like we didn't. They weren't on
No.
week, so they're back, and they're still having their normal issues. So she actually got to meet one of his friends who is fully aware of her existence, which made her feel a little more comfortable. Also, she likes to pick up feral cats and walk around the city with them. Apparently, there's feral cats all over.
I would too. You give me any animal, I'll pick it up.
You will pick up
I love
a feral cat?
You bet your ass.
Y'all,
I'll name it.
I'm already going to tell y'all, if I ever go visit y'all and y'all have dogs or cats, I cannot go in your home unless it's clean. I am severely allergic to dogs and cats. Yeah.
I don't have any pets. I don't have any pets.
I have a lot of pets.
It would have to be like clean. I can't, I can be around them, but if they touch me, I'm severely allergic to them.
My house is very clean, but I have 24 animals.
You said 24 animals?
Yes, and there's no way I could keep them from touching you.
See, that's a conversation for another day, because I just, like, 5 questions just popped in my head.
Carl, we gotta have a long talk on the phone, girlfriend.
Yeah,
I have 7 dogs. I'll just tell you, I have 7 dogs. Just leave it there.
Okay, so Nicola is kind of cold-hearted. You know, I was watching this episode, and the way that he talks to Misha, like, he says that Misha cries too much. He says that she's over-emotional. And he seems to be pretty cold. Like when she opens up and tries to tell him how she feels, he kind of brushes it off and dismisses her as just being too much. And then he even said, like, why are you always so emotional and saying what you want me to do? I can name like 10 or 15 things that you should change, but I'm trying to be nice to you. And I was like, I'm beginning to see why he's a 46-year-old virgin. It doesn't have to do with him being a devout Catholic or whatever. He's just
everything but the fact that he's an asshole.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's a complete dick. And the way that he talked to her, he's like, I could say that you should clean up after yourself and you don't do this. And he's like attacking her. And she's like, well, everything that I told you, none of it was attacking your character. And he was like, well, what do you want? Do you want a hug? And I'm just like, this guy is super cold-hearted and mean and evil. And I was like, the reason why he tried to sell it to us, that he's like, oh, well, I'm
punched him in the face.
Right.
Yep.
I wouldn't have punched him in the face. And let me tell you something. I know from experience, people that act like he acts like high and mighty, they do everything perfect, they live strictly by the Bible, this and that and everything else. I know from experience, those are the most hypocritical people on the face of earth, and they have some of the nastiest skeletons in their closet. So I don't know who he thinks he is, but he needs to get off his high horse and act like a normal person, because I don't care who you are. Nobody is that perfect. And no.
Yeah.
He is a total prick.
I'm convinced now that he's a 46-year-old virgin because he repulses women. I'm like convinced, because the way that he acts and treats women, and you're right, he has this holier than thou attitude, like, I would never do that. And the way that he reacted, that she smoked a cigarette once a year.
Yeah.
The judgmental, the nasty, he's just like, you do that? That's terrible. That's disgusting. I would never do that. Like the way that he acts like he's better than her, and the way that he treats her because she goes dancing, which he actually liked. Like the way it's not his religion. He's just
Yes, he likes it because he does it. If you don't like something, how are you going to be like, all of a sudden you okay? You're drinking a beer, are drinking wine, and you're out dancing. You all of a sudden, from like 2 minutes before, you were totally against it. 2 minutes later, you out there and you know how to dance.
Yep.
So people who don't like to dance, they don't know how to dance.
That's true. That's true.
He said, you're playing victim. He said to her, you're playing victim. He's not playing shit, first of all. And then in the same breath, he said, I haven't said anything about your mess and your clothes all over everything. Bullshit. I heard that 3 times in just this episode.
Yeah.
So you can't say you're not saying anything. Shut your mouth. I put him right up there with Amanda. That's how much I just.
Wow, that's high. That's high. I mean, the way that he was talking to Misha tonight had me scratching my head, because Misha's beautiful.
Yep.
Misha can have anyone she wants. And I understand that faith is important to her. Mm-hmm. There are guys who are Catholic who don't treat women like shit. Okay? So you do not have to settle just because this guy's a Catholic and you both believe the same thing to be treated like crap. I just don't see it. I don't see the purpose of it. He's embarrassed of her. And he's not embarrassed of her because she's not beautiful or she's not smart. She's all of those things. He's embarrassed of her because he wants a wife that's basically a nun. Yep. Right? It's basically what he's looking for is, I want her to do whatever the religion says she's supposed to do. I want her to listen to me. I want her to do whatever I say. It's a dictatorship relationship. And that's the reason why he's never been married at 46, because I don't care what religion you are. You can be any type of faith you want and not be in a controlling relationship. Yeah. They're not the same thing. He wants her to be religious with him, but also he wants to dictate what she can and can't do. And that's the reason why. Okay, yeah, you nailed it. Portuguese princess. He don't want a wife. He wants a slave. Yep. That's exactly what he wants. He wants someone that he can physically, mentally, and emotionally control 100% of the time. He wants her to present herself in whatever way he wants her presented. Like when he was letting her meet his friends, he wanted her to present herself in a certain way. And when she didn't do it, he's literally calling her crazy to his friends. Who the hell does that? Who I'm sorry. Like, I can't with this man.
Yeah.
The way that he treats her is insane, and I'm not gonna try to be rude, but like with that face attached to his neck, the cockiness, the way that he speaks to her, the way I just can't.
He's horrible. He's so disrespectful. I
And
how much I've sacrificed. Do you know how much I've sacrificed in the last 48 hours? Shut the hell up. Shut up. Get out.
And you know, and Misha was like, and Misha made a good point too. He has yet to show her that he's happy and excited that she's even there. I mean, even around his friends, he was still putting her down.
Yep.
Like, see,
Yeah, it's
that man would have got punched in the face so many times for me tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if he was in America and he started talking to Misha, say he was with an LA girl, right? An LA or a New York City girl, and he started talking to her like that, there would have been an ambulance coming up to that room because he would have been hurt. I was like, you do not talk to women that way, telling them, oh, well, I'm sick of you and you need to clean up after yourself and you're embarrassing, and you pick up I was like, man, you're trying to lose a tooth. That's what you're trying to lose a tooth. Why would you say that to her face? That's a text message thing that you say. You don't say it when she's sitting right in front of you.
Yeah.
And then you better hope and pray she forgot all about that text message, because us women over here, especially in the South, we don't take that stuff. So,
Let me and DeeDee have him for 5 minutes.
Just a 5-minute closed door interrogation.
That's it. We just
no cameras. No cameras, obviously. Just a little interrogation.
We just want to
talk. George, you got to be the bodyguard. Make sure nobody comes in the room. So you got to stand at the door.
He does need a nice little intervention. I do. If he wants to not die a virgin, it's needed, right? I feel like the way that he's running his life right now, there isn't any woman desperate enough to marry this man. I think it's shown in his whole life. He's had a girlfriend, you know, he's had relationships. They were smart enough to get their shoes, put them on, and run away. They were smart enough to know that that's not the life that they wanted. And I think that blaming his religion, that's not why he's single. So he's like, oh, I'm single because I'm waiting for marriage. No, you're single because you can't convince a woman to marry you.
Yep.
Because women are not that desperate or stupid. They're not going to deal with your bullshit. That's why you're single.
Yep.
JJ, what's up?
You nailed that on the head.
All right. So I want to get into therapy because Gino and Jasmine went to therapy. And there was a lot that went on in this therapy session. And I always felt like, okay, so first of all, do you guys feel that the gender of your therapist matters? Because men always feel like if there's a female therapist, he's going to take the side of the woman. And if there's a male therapist, he's going to take the side of the man. Do you guys think that that's true? Because I see that Gino felt like the therapist wasn't being hard enough on Jasmine because she was a woman. Do you guys feel like that?
I think if they're professionally trained, which they should be, it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. I mean, I've never been in therapy before, but the people that I know that has been in therapy, they prefer to have the same sex. Because if they go like a woman, they want it to be a woman. That way they can help the man try to understand where they're going from. And then like the man, they want a man so they can make the woman see where they're coming from. So I don't know. It shouldn't. I mean, whether it's a man or a woman, they shouldn't be on nobody's side. They should be trying to fix the problem.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the therapist could see that Jasmine is a lot of the problem, because even in the session, she was saying things like, he can't satisfy me sexually, and he rejects me, and I don't want to sleep with someone like that. And I think that the comments that she makes are very demasculating and belittling. And I was kind of almost understanding it, because at first I was questioning. I was like, Gino, this woman is literally throwing herself at you and you're not interested. You're rejecting her. You're turning her down. Not a lot of people would do that. But the way that she belittles and talks to him, it is a turnoff. It's not good to hear from the person that you love that they would rather be having sex with someone else, and not just someone else, their ex. I think
if you would have told me at the beginning of this season that I would be siding with Gino, I would have called bullshit. But I am 100% on Gino's side.
I am too. At this point, I am too. DeeDee, what are you? Team Jasmine, Team Gino?
You know I'm Team Gino. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. You're the one that you're the one that convinced me to switch sides. Because at first I was on Jasmine's side with the prenup papers, but you know, we got past that. But I just feel like this therapy session really opened my eyes to Gino's side of it. Like when he put it out there, he was like, she belittles me, she's moved into this building with her ex, she's talking to him behind my back, she's doing all these things, I can't trust her. It really is difficult to perform when you feel like the person is literally doing you wrong in every possible way. Like, I could understand that, because she's like, oh, I was showing him my body and he wasn't interested. And I was like, well, what was the conversation taking place while you were doing that? Because when you're telling a guy, like, you don't know how to satisfy me and I wish I was with, like, if you're saying something like that, it doesn't really matter, because he's not going to want to do anything with you.
In the same breath, she said, but the intimacy was never good.
Right.
Then why the hell are you still there?
See, now that we know that he's a millionaire,
Yeah.
I know why she's still there. I didn't know that, because I was like, there's no way that she's clinging to this guy, you know, because what does he have? Because when he was first on the show, he wasn't even employed at the time. But we know he's an engineer. We know that he could get a job. But at that point, he was laid off, I believe, from his job due to COVID. But now that he's working again, and we know that his net worth and his retirement is very desirable, it is very interesting, and it's almost damaging to her case the way that she says these things, because she's like, well, we've only had sex 7 times in 2.5 years, and he's never satisfied me. And it's like, well, how are you convincing him that you love him and you want to marry him if you're saying nothing has ever gone right from the start? Like, it's actually damaging to her case. Every time she opens her mouth, it's almost making it harder for him to trust and believe that she truly loves him, because everything that she says is contradictive to what she says. She literally says she would rather be with literally anyone else. So explain to me why you're still there.
And then the comment she made about her ex, it'll hurt me so bad, but I guess I can quit communication with him. Okay, you'll quit communication with him while Gino's there, because your ex is on vacation. But as soon as Gino leaves and your ex comes back, then nobody knows. There's no cameras, no nothing. So you're not quitting shit.
We all know she ain't quitting her communication with him. And, you know, just by her saying, well, it will hurt me so bad, she's trying to do that guilt trip all over again to try to, you know what I'm saying? Why would you do that? I mean,
Donna,
if you want to,
Donna, look at what Donna said. You suck at sex. Let's have sex. That is so right. If he's
right,
so bad, why are you still nagging?
Exactly. No man is gonna be like, oh, so that's just like telling a guy it's small. He's not gonna want to have sex with you. That's like the worst possible thing you can say to a man, right? Like, that is the most sensitive area in his life. So making those comments and then being like, right after, so you want to go have sex? He's gonna be like, well, no, I'm gonna go cry in the corner for like an hour. Like, that's how you, that's the last thing I want to do right now.
Something she's probably said to him 100 times.
Absolutely.
What do you mean? Because she said, my ex is better than you. The sex was better than you. My ex this, my ex that. Everything's better than you.
Oh,
I mean, who would want to have sex with anybody like that?
Another thing that really bothered me was she made it seem like she would be doing him a favor by ending communication with her ex when there should have never been communication behind his back in the first place. That's like saying, I know I stole $10,000 from you, but I'm going to give it back. So, or no, I'll give half of it back. I don't know. I can't think of a
spend back.
Right, exactly. Like, you shouldn't have been doing it. She's like, well, I guess as a compromise, I can stop. It's not a compromise, because you should have never been talking to him behind his back in the first place. You should have never moved in the building next to him. You should never be going out for coffee with him. And we know there's other things going on with him. She's just not willing to.
She's already, I mean, we done seen it where she admits it, so we already know that that they're cheating. You know what I'm saying? They got more stuff going on.
she's hypersexual.
Yeah.
So if she said that they've been together 2.5 years and had sex 7 times, she's getting it from somewhere. She told us last season on the tell-all that she was the vegan. She was a vegan, but she had to have it. You know, like she wanted it 4, 5, 6 times a day. So you want to tell me y'all been together for 2.5 years and you're getting no D and you're not getting it from anyone else, but you conveniently live like 3 doors down from your ex?
Yeah.
But they're not together every day.
Yep.
So how,
well, right. So,
how you gonna have it every day? So why is she saying it like that's a bad thing? I've only had it 7 times. Well, how many times has he been over to see you?
Yeah.
And then the whole time he's over there, y'all fussing and fighting. I mean, they ain't no makeup sex for that couple. They ain't, I don't know. And then what she tells him next week, that was a jaw dropper to me. I was like, what did she just say?
Yeah.
See, if I was Gino, I would have punched her in the face.
Yep.
No. He can't do that. He can't do that.
No, I'm just saying, if I was Gino, I would have punched her in the face. Like, seriously.
It just, Gino can't do
I
it.
can't believe she said that. She fakes it. Because they were talking about, well, at least you do have orgasms. She was like, no, I don't. I fake it.
Yeah. So,
I was like, what?
And
See, I would have punched her in the face.
Yep. Just because Gino can't punch her in the face doesn't mean Gino can't find somebody that will.
That's right, Miss Donna. I can go punch her in the face for him. I sure will.
I don't understand how she feels any of this is helping her case. Because Gino's family feels like she's after his money and a great
And Gino's family's been right all along.
And yeah, her behavior is pointing to every single thing his family has said. I have not seen one inaccurate statement from his family based on her behavior. Her behavior is so telling. Like, she doesn't have to say what she's trying to do. She doesn't even have to show that she's been cheating, which she is. Her actions altogether, the way that she talks nasty to this man, like, I can't even, she hates him, right? I feel like she has to hate him. The way that she talks to him, there can't be love in this relationship. I think the idea that she has to put up with him to get what she wants is torturing her. And she lets it out through by berating and belittling and dogging him. And it's crazy.
Did you guys understand what the psychologist said? That she is taking her anger and all of her past issues out on Gino.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all caught that. And I was like, you know what that is? She's actually doing that because Gino's always stayed quiet. She's got away with it for so long that she's talked to him any way she wanted to. She's treated him anyway. He's always stayed quiet until now. Now he's finally got a backbone. And I like how he stood up even to the psychologist.
Yeah.
He was like, wait a minute. You don't need to make her feel like she don't need to work on her issues.
Yep.
Because she needs to work on her issues. So
she is
keeps talking about her abandonment issues. Like, no freaking wonder you have abandonment issues. You push everybody away as hard and fast as you can.
Yeah, I do feel that her abandonment issues have something to do with the way she treats people.
Yeah.
And I think it might be because she's so guarded because of her abandonment issues that she treats people really badly because it's easier to feel like you're the one that eliminates them from your life, so they weren't the one that ran away or walked away. So I feel like she definitely is playing a part in why people don't stick around. I do believe that. And the therapist, like she said, is not going to get done in one session. And it can't be couples therapy because Gino has to go back to Michigan. But Jasmine needs to go and work on these issues. And Gino could, stand to go and see somebody too in Michigan, just so they can work on their issues. Nobody is right here, but I feel like if we were keeping score, Jasmine is the wronger one, right? Like, I mean, we're not keeping score.
Yeah, she digs herself in a hole every time she opens her mouth. She's digging herself in a deeper hole.
Yeah.
Now, Gino, he's done some nasty crap, but Jasmine has she's out past him. I mean, like past him.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I say I don't like keeping score in relationships because we know Gino sent those pictures, and we know we can't keep score. Nobody's wrong, but Jesus Christ, Dormy says she treats Gino like an ATM. She does. She treats him like an ATM machine. She wants everything, and she doesn't want to give. And I feel like in a relationship, it shouldn't be all give, take. It should be a mix.
Yeah.
And it's like everything is, Gino, I want this $3,000 appointment, or Gino, I want this hair extensions, Gino, I need this, and it's never, well, what is she going to do for Gino? And I guess she's offering up sex, but Gino's not interested because every chance she gets, she makes him feel inadequate sexually. So it's like the one thing you want to offer him, he doesn't even want it because you don't even say enough nice things to him to even make that enticing. The idea of it for him is just like, well, no, I just kind of want to cry about all the shit you said about me and how I can't do it right. Like, no, I don't want to try it. So right after you could laugh and say, that was worse than before. He's not interested in that.
I'm going to write Gino a note and let him know that he can get a hooker so much cheaper and not have any of the drama.
I'm pretty sure those are illegal in Michigan. I'm pretty sure.
Still. If he can travel over there to see her, he can travel to Vegas for a week or so.
Oh yeah, he's got tons of money.
So he can have all he can handle for a week and then go home with none of the bullshit.
Well, we're gonna see who married who, because who knows? Maybe they're married and they're here. We don't know. I don't want to say too much because they filmed the tell-all this weekend. This weekend. So if you see any pictures online of who was there, it was in New York. You'll know who actually was there and who wasn't, who arrived together and who.
Well, if they together, then why is she telling people that she's broke? She don't got no money.
Maybe she signed a prenup.
Yeah.
Because that was what I was thinking. Because I was like, it could be very possible that after he found out she was cheating on him, that's good leverage.
Yeah.
To get that prenup signed. Like,
well, we already know if they got married or if they get married. We 99% sure he's going to make her sign a prenup now because she has shown her true colors.
He has the upper hand. The hand is on the ceiling at this point. He can make the rules based on the fact that she's cheating on him and she's been using him and doing all that. Like it's all out in the open. So if he still marries her, he's got all the leverage he needs to have a prenup signed. And, she was only damaging everything for herself. Like I said, everything that she's doing is ruining it for herself.
Yeah.
Treating him better, not lying to him, not cheating on him. He was already ready to let the prenup go and give her what she wanted, but she couldn't behave herself long enough.
Yep.
She got in the building with her ex, and then it's like it just started spiraling downhill. Yeah. She don't even know how to hide. I mean, she don't know how to hide stuff.
Studio, what month did you find that it happened? I'm just curious. Was it this year? I heard March.
In Orlando.
So I was just curious.
All right. What did I miss?
Oh, Studio says that she searched the Orlando County's marriage licenses, and that's how she knows what happened. So I was curious if it was March of this year, because that's what I was told. Wait, you didn't find one? Oh, okay. Interesting. So she said that she searched the county that Gino lives in for marriage licenses, and she did not find one. So I'm interested in knowing what's up with that, because.
But is Gino his real name though?
We're friends on Facebook, and his name on Instagram and Facebook are.
I mean, we're friends too, but is G Palazzo?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I don't know if it's like short for something. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I know he lives in Canton, Michigan. So if you search that county, because you have to file it in the county where your address is.
Yeah, you can even look it under her name. It'll come up that she's married.
I gotta know now.
Yeah, it's interesting because his real name is Giovanni. Someone said no, possibly. Yeah, that would be short for Gino. Okay, so I'm not sure because I was told that she had came here this year. So the fact that they're not, I mean, she would have 90 days to get married to him when she arrived, but the 90 days would have passed because I was told it was in
That
March.
would have been what, in June?
Yeah.
That would have been what, last month? Yeah.
Now I'm very curious to know because I thought I was aware of
Well,
what was going on.
me and Gino, we're friends. Me and Gino's friends on Instagram, and I have yet to see pictures of them together. 4th of July.
They're under NDA, so they can't post
I
anything.
mean, I know that, but I mean, even on the 4th of July, he was only out with his family.
But
Well,
did you see the picture of him in the boat? And then
Yeah.
she was in a boat?
yeah, I did. And when he went to film this season, I remember when he was in the airport. This was last year at some point. He posted he was in the airport, and then she posted a picture in the airport. So I remember when they were filming this, when he was going over, I want to say it was around Christmas time. And he was in the airport, she was in the airport, and I commented on her photo, and she commented back. She's like, oh, I'm picking up my niece or my sister from the airport. Bullshit. We know why they were both in the airport on the same day. Like, we know what's going on. We're not dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't know. With the NDA, I know that she was here, but again, she could have been on a tourist visa. You know, it didn't necessarily have to be a K1, but I do know I saw the picture of her here. That's all I know.
So this says it's a fee to search marriage licenses in Michigan, but it's Wayne County, Wayne County in Canton, Michigan.
Yeah, why would it be in Orlando, Florida? That's what I'm asking to Donna, because he lives in Canton, Michigan. So why I want to know why she thought they were getting married in Orlando. And even if they did get married in Orlando, I'm pretty sure you still file your license
You'd
in
still
the
have
county
to file where you live.
So you would take
You
it
can get
back.
married anywhere, but you have to file your license where in the county that you live.
Yep.
And if they got married in Orlando, I'm gonna be like a little offended because I live in Orlando. So where was my invite?
Yeah.
I'll be a little bit offended.
Yeah, and I'm right down the road from Orlando. Where was my invite?
Right, like I'm a little bit offended. So, she said I heard possibly they were getting married in Florida.
I'm on the other side of the United States, and I don't like Jasmine, so I don't give a shit that I didn't get an invite.
You wouldn't even go and sit all the way on the back row?
Oh, I would go.
But Carl, then you would have to go. We would have to show our faces.
I would go flirt with Gino so hard.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You
You're that person that you invite to the wedding that starts all type of problems. You're that person.
Typically, no. In this case, I would flirt with Razvan all day, and I would flirt with Gino all day. Just to stir the pot.
See, George, you're not the only one that's petty. We petty too, okay?
Yeah, I see that. I thought I was the petty one of the group. Maybe I'm not the petty one of the group anymore.
How do you spell?
Oh my goodness.
I'm looking it up if I can.
I don't know. I heard that in some counties you do have to pay. It's not free.
It's $3. I'm not paying to find out.
Well, yeah, because we were having this conversation about someone else with someone else, and we were trying to figure out how, Amira from 90 Day Fiance, she's been in America for like going on 2 years. Yeah. We haven't seen a husband, so everybody was like, "Who is she married to?" Because the rumor is she married David Murphy from David and Lana. Do you remember there was like a bunch of videos of them together in his RV, and they were like hugged up on each other, and then because she's been here since November of like not last year but the year before.
Me too, Portuguese princess. Me too.
Yeah, and we're trying to figure out because she was in LA when I was in LA, and this was like not last year, the year before. And I saw her then, and she's been here. And when we were talking, she was here on a 6-month visa. So I'm trying to figure out who she married. So if anyone has that information, send me a DM because we're not friends anymore. But I was just curious to know because the rumor is she married David Murphy from the David and Lana situation.
Sure.
So I'm curious on that. So if anybody has that information as well, we would love to have that info too. But yeah, if we could figure out if Gino and Jasmine did get married, hey, is it possible to know if there was a prenup signed on the marriage certificate, or is that separate?
I think it's separate
Oh, okay.
from the certificate.
Got it. All right, guys. So
I've
we're
never
gonna
had
try to find out.
to do a prenup, so I wouldn't know how to answer that
I
one.
haven't either.
I don't know. I was just wondering if it's like public, but I'm pretty sure you get like a private lawyer to do it, so it probably wouldn't show up on your marriage certificate. That's like a different thing.
Yeah.
Wait, David was on team.
Marriage certificate. Bitch, sign here.
Wait, in Florida, there's a 3-day waiting period for getting married. I got married in Florida. 3-day wait. That sounds like a gun license. How weird. They want you to be sure you're not marrying the wrong person. I didn't know that. Oh, David was on Tim's live the other night and said he's single. Well, I mean, I think he is single because Amira lives in Los Angeles and he lives somewhere else, I think Vegas. So I don't know. That was just a rumor though. So I'm not sure, but I know in order for her to be here, she has to be married to somebody. So I'm just wondering, who did she marry?
Yeah.
No telling. No telling whatsoever.
All right, guys. So that's it for this episode of what was this? The Before the 90 Days, episode 8, George Mossey Show podcast. Thank you to my co-hosts, Kara and DeeDee. Make sure you're following them. They're tagged in this video, and follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, and on anywhere you get your podcast, type in The George Mossey Show. And we'll be back tomorrow because The Other Way is back with everyone's favorite couple, Brandon and Mary. So we have a lot more drama to unfold with that tomorrow. So make sure you're ready to get super, super angry. Don't throw anything at your TV. Those are expensive. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.